Hello from Coleman & Company. Today we're going to do a quick demonstration of using Design Era 11 auto conversion from a simple JPEG image into rhinestones. So let's get started and take a look. The first thing we're going to do here is start a new design. And that's going to open up our main design table, and you can see other videos for further explanation on all these details. But we're going to just do a quick and easy demo and show how simple the software can really be. So we're going to choose Open Image. So we're going to find an image that we've already saved on our computer or provided from a customer. This one is going to be a Halloween cat. So you could click Open here, and that's going to bring up our cat design. So the first thing we're going to look at is going to be the size of the design. Is this how big we want to make our image, our Hotfix rhinestone image? So here we can see it starts at 0 and it's about 12 inches wide. It's a little bigger than I'm going to want to make this design today. So resizing it is just as simple as in any other graphic software, and we'll bring this in just a few inches, and then we can center the design back. So now we can see we're just under 10, and you can simply tweak it down a little more if you want, and center the design just like you wanted to before. So what we've created here is we've got our image and we've got it the right size. Now we want to convert this image over to a vector, and that's what we're going to click up here. And when we convert it to a vector, it's going to take this JPEG image right here that is a series of dots. It's thousands and thousands of dots that is going to be a little bit harder to work with for finding rhinestones. So what it's doing is it's actually going through and tracing this design mathematically to create a series of points, and that's going to create a really simple and easy to use cat for the software. So we'll see what's happened here is now it's converted it over to a vector, and what we want to look at is the colors and what's transparent. So this is a simple two-color design, black and white, and we see the black and white has come up. The white is the transparent, so we're vectorized. And we'll click return here, and as you can see, that's putting all of these points onto the design. So that's the math that our software is going to use. Looking at our vector image, we've got the image only, we've got the image with the outline, or just the outline, and we've got the image and the outline together. So we're going to use the image and the outline together for the sake of converting to Hotfix. So we're going to simply click to Hotfix, and now we can go ahead and choose how we want to fill it in. We're going to keep it real simple, area with Hotfix uniform fill. A very popular fill and easy one to use, especially with our brush and bake system. So as we zoom in here, you see that it popped up with all of our rhinestones, and these, even though they don't look terribly close together, they are pretty close. This is only a size 4 rhinestone, so we're talking this spacing here is less than 1 millimeter. So we're going to bump that up a little bit using this spacing area, and it automatically will space it through. And we can also switch from that SS4 stone to an SS6, because that's going to look a little bit better with this design. It's going to be a little bit of a bigger stone. So we've got it spaced just right, and if we click our little simulation view and turn off our vector, we get to see what it's going to look like in rhinestones. Now here, there's something missing though in this cat, the eyes. So we want to go in here and we're going to edit these eyes individually. And we're going to choose our Edit Hotfix button, and this allows us to grab one at a time and delete these out. Now, while we're looking at this, you might say that we are working with a blue cat. Doesn't seem to make too much sense, does it? But we're not actually going to do that. We're going to go ahead and this is just a visual representation. It's easy to see over the black. But if you want to save your design, we can actually go into our what they call the beads bar, and this is going to allow us to actually pick specific colors for these stones and put them onto our palette on the left hand side for saving them for future use. So we could pick the black 6. And for the eyes, we can go with, let's see, we can go with these sun color, this orange eyes. I think that would work out nicely, and that's going to be a 10. So we'll click accept, and now we can go through and we're going to add a little flare to the eyes here. So we can choose that orange, the sun that the software calls it here, and we will go into manual hotfix mode, and that just actually allows us to go eye, 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 eye. Okay, and now we've got our blue cat, which we're not going to do anyway, and what I would recommend is when you're saving your designs, you pick the color that you're actually going to work with. So you can actually click that on the Jet 6 and it'll convert your colors over. And if we back out here, we can turn off the vector, click away from the line, and you could see in Rhinestones what your cat is going to look like. Thanks for watching, and continue to click through the videos to see demonstrations on the rest of the brush and bake system and how this comes out on a shirt. Thank you. Now we're ready to send it over to our cutter. So click the menu on the top and send to Hotfix Cutter. Here we're going to choose to include the square frame, and under the beads we can adjust our margin. When using 6s, we find it better to adjust the margin to 2. As you can see, a little preview there, and it'll help to adjust the size of the holes to make for particularly easy brushing. And we'll go ahead and click send, and we're going to choose the Graphtec CE6000. And under properties, here's where we're going to choose the type of paper. We're going to be using a roll, and we'll choose free size because we're going to have a 16.5 inch, and we'll put 60 as the length, the size of the roll that we have. And click OK. And once the machine is ready and on, we'll click OK. And it brings up our CE6000. We're going to choose sticky flock and center the origin and hit cut, and it's going to start going. Let's take a look at the cutter. Now our Graphtec cutter has received the design template, and it's going to start cutting out the small circles that are this very specific size to be able to handle the rhinestones, so they will, when they're brushed in, they will land right side up and not having a ton of them land upside down. So this design has just over 1,200 rhinestones in it, so that's 1,200 little individual circles, and it's going to take probably about 7 or 8 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and speed some of this along so you don't have to watch 7 minutes of small cuts. So we'll see on the other side. Now that our design is finished cutting, we're going to go ahead and peel it off and begin what we call the weeding process. That's going to remove all of the small dots that are that have been cut out and allow a spot for us to put on rhinestones. So what we will do is, we find the best little trick to do is actually put it onto a piece of glass. We got this simple piece of glass from a craft store, and where you rub it in really good, and what that's going to do is that's going to make sure all those little circles that have been cut out will stick behind. Now remember, this design's got 1,200 different rhinestones cut out in it, so this one's going to take probably about 3 minutes to weed, maybe 3.5, not too bad, but we don't have to watch that whole thing. We could speed that up a little bit here, so you can go ahead and see that getting wrapped up pretty quickly. And also, as you notice as she's going through here, and when Brittany picks up the piece, she'll notice if a couple pieces didn't come out, and she'll put it back down and rub on that spot a little bit harder, especially if the glass isn't clean or anything like that. You could especially have a couple spots where it doesn't stick as quickly. So you just simply rub it on and peel it off. You can even use a a pair of tweezers or something like that if you have a couple trouble spots that don't pull off right away or might not have cut perfect. And then we're ready to remove the glass and move our transfer over to our board. This board right here is, it's got a fuzzy surface, so it really is great for flipping rhinestones over if you're working with individually placing any rhinestones for any designs. So we will pour the bag of rhinestones. This is a 50 gross bag of crystalline rhinestones, and about a third of the bag will be good enough for this design, which is 1,200 rhinestones. You want to have a good amount of rhinestones. Don't be shy with them. Actually create this design, we timed Brittany on about 3 minutes to create this 1,200 stone transfer. So you figure at that rate you could probably realistically do I'd say 15 of these in an hour. That would include the time that it would take to pull on and off your transfer paper and move anything around, replace any missing stones. As you can see, as she's working it in there, you'll get a few stones that might not fall right into place. Let Brittany wrap this up and we'll go ahead and show making the transfer and moving on to actually putting it on a garment. Now we'll peel off our transfer paper and choose either one side, the top or the bottom to start. And you don't want to go directly flat down on it. Static electricity can actually pop up a couple stones. Better off going to the side. So we'll start on the side there and just push it down right over the cat and give it a good rub in. Get the paper stuck to all the stones evenly. That'll really help to, when you lift the design off, that it will all the stones will come off nice and clean. Now that it's been pressed down smoothly, we'll lift the cat up and get it ready to put on a garment. Now you can put it on the back of your transfer paper like Brittany did there for saving your transfers for future use, or you can go directly onto the garment right from the board. And she's going to center the design on the neck. And ready to go to the heat press. Brittany's using a Nomex heat pad. Whenever using more than one size of stones, we are using 10s and 6s. It's a good idea to use the Nomex pad. It helps for the bottom of the press to absorb the different amounts of pressure from the different sizes. She's also using some release paper. You can also use parchment paper in between the two sides of the shirt. This prevents any glue from going from the front of the shirt to the back, especially on a thinner garment or women's shirt. Then now she's putting some paper on the top and pushing it down. Do about 10 seconds here and we're all set. Let's transfer off the heat press and let it cool. So Brittany gives it a final rub here to make sure everything feels good, every spot feels cool, and everything's landed just right. And then she will remove the paper. And peel off the top of the transfer. and feel free to save this paper for later use and using it again. And now we've got our cat design all set. Thank you for watching. Please visit us at colemanandcompany.com or give us a call at 800-891-1094. Thank you.